Yo, what's up, guys? So I'm back to streaming Runeterra after my little break, and I've actually been really pleasantly surprised with the state of ladder right now. There's actually a lot of cool things that you can mess around with the big nerfs coming into like Bilgewater and Targon. There are a crazy amount of kind of like older viable strategies that really work a lot better than I was expecting, and this is in part, you can see this in like the meta tier list. There's so many the old decks that I was talking about, going through the stats and updating, end up being actually really good right now. Decks that felt like they were kept down from things for a while, and there's just a there's a large amount of experimentation and diversity right now, much to my surprise. And this is great news for me because I like to be able to build decks, but I mean, I want to make competitive decks, right? I want to make stuff that can actually be feasible, stuff that I'm comfortable recommending to you guys, for those of you guys that care about your rank and want to win games. And I love it when I'm able to innovate while doing that. So a lot of old concepts like Nightfall aggro is doing really well right now. Vlad's Gargoyles is not bad. Deep is a bit of an up-and-comer. If you watched, my last Meta Mondays, like the meta update video, you might have seen there's a lot of like interesting new decks starting to crop up, and not the least of which is Ashe Marauders, which is the deck that I played and modified today, and I'll be talking about it here. So my boy Cephalopod has been playing Ashe Marauders for about a week now, and it's a very well performing deck. Cephalopod, if you don't know, is one of the kind of like old school like tournament guys. He's actually been he's played in like almost the most tournaments out of anyone, and he's a very high ranking ladder player, and someone that I talk to pretty regularly about, his takes on the meta. Pretty smart guy and pretty low key deck builder. And he built a version of Strength and Numbers with Legion Marauder in Ashe. And this, I'm happy to say, is the first competitive Legion Marauder deck. There have been like many like meme Legion Marauder decks. This is the first one that is genuinely competitive, and that's really nice. And I'll explain throughout this like a lot of the reasons why that is. But I just wanted to say first, this deck is very strong, like either tier 1 or at the very least probably like high tier 2. And I'm not just doing that thing that some YouTubers say where like they'll build a deck and then like call it tier 1 or like really powerful, even though it's got like a tier 4 or 5 ladder win rate. No, this is actually a deck that is seeing really good ladder stats right now. A small sample size, which is why it's somewhat tenuous, but most top players agree, at least everyone I've talked to, that it's at least high tier 2 with a lot of potential to be tier 1. Like if I were doing a climb right now, like going for like I don't know, top 10 or something, this might actually be the deck that I would pick to go on that climb with. I mean, I'd obviously have to consider a few options, but yeah, it would be a top candidate, which is crazy. Now I actually want to mention that real quick before the deck. I actually kind of like the idea of climbing right now. Now, for those of you guys who have watched me for a while, you guys know it's been like a long time, like over 6 months since I've been like rank 1 master, and that's because I don't spend most of my time climbing. Like I'll get to master and then I'll just kind of like chill at like low masters, because at a certain point it doesn't really like, you have to spend a lot of time, and if the meta is not really very fun, it just ends up being a really big slug. But right now, with a lot more things to do, I might actually do that. So we'll see how I feel in the next couple of weeks. But I know I've been like really low rank for ages. So let's talk about this deck a little bit before we actually get into the games. Now, this deck build is really tight, and everything is here for a specific reason. But I have changed a couple of cards from Cephalopod's original version. So people have been trying to make Legion Marauder work for a really long time. I remember like when I first started playing the Legends of Runeterra beta, literally the deck I was just like most excited for and consequently most baited into was a deck I built with like Legion Marauder and like some Shadow Isles cards like Harrowing. And of course it was spectacularly awful because Legion Marauder is a pretty bad meme card in almost any context. And of course we've seen people mess around with like, P and Z versions, trying cloning engines, and let's talk about why it's working in this deck, and what the properties of Legion Marauder are that makes it so good here. And of course, the biggest thing is with Strength and Numbers, now we no longer need to do like cloning Legion Marauder memes to get like, double drawing like value out of them. Legion Marauder just ends up being a good card on its own, provided, it's able to survive throughout its own attacks. Ashe fits it completely perfectly because not only is Ashe as an archetype looking for, 3 drops proactively as well as reputation triggers, but most importantly, by far most importantly, the Frejlord archetype, Elixir of Iron, Brittle Steel, and Troll Chant has a lot of cheap ways to be able to keep the Legion Marauder alive, which is why I'm even up to 3 Elixir of Iron for that purpose. And I think it's important to note that the biggest thing that differentiates a meme deck from like a competitive build is that meme decks tend to be like built around very singular concepts, like, oh, I'm going to build my entire deck around this theme, or oh, I'm going to build my entire deck around this card or this interaction. And you never want to do that in a deck build. A good deck build is like it's like a web, right? Everything is interacting with each other, and you don't just go off of like single card combos, you go off of the togetherness of everything as a whole, which is to say this deck isn't dependent on drawing Legion Marauder to win the game. I wouldn't say it's dependent on Ashe to win the game, nor is it dependent on LeBlanc to win the game. You have a lot of like win conditions that are all kind of entangled together and ratioed very well, and they can all win the game on their own in different ways. But I think that's a good way to look at deck building. Basically just think about it like a spider web, right? You want each connected node, like each point of like synergy between your cards, to all kind of be interconnected with each other and make sense as like, you know, just like these 40 cards exactly, rather than just like this idea of everything is linked to this and my entire deck is going to be built around this one card, or everything is all kind of like, you know, this card interacts with this one, that card interacts with that one, but it doesn't all just make sense at once altogether. Anyway, if you want to try this deck to climb, I'm going to be linking it in the pinned comment for you to import. Just like one quick tip with this deck is just make sure that you're banking spell mana in general. It's a pretty important thing, and there will be some turns where like you won't play Avaros and Sentry on turn 2 sometimes if you're looking at your hand and thinking, oh, maybe I need Troll Chant on my LeBlanc that I'm going to be playing next turn, right? This deck thrives off of having 2 or 3 spell mana open at almost all times, and it's important to make sure that's a consideration. And also make sure that you're trying to mulligan for units early. As powerful as the combat tricks are, Brittle Steel, Elixir of Iron, and Troll Chant, part of the reason we're running so many of them is because we need the ability to mulligan them away. This is a strangely paradoxical aspect of deck building sometimes, but because we are fairly short on units, you want to make sure that you have some access to unit draws. A lot of hands that are all of spells will have to take full mulligans just to be able to pick up 1 or 2 units and redraw the spells later. So just keep that in mind. That'll make a big difference as you're playing this deck. And that's pretty much it. So enjoy the games from today's stream. Whispered Words? Yeah, we're already 3-ofing that one. Or you mean cutting one? I don't like that now. Whispered Words is like a locked-in 3-of here. Is Reckoning good against these decks? I don't think it's great. It's mostly just Braum, right? His hand is nuts? It's pretty nuts. Yeah, Nick, honestly, this deck is just pretty poggers. Yeah, there's just no reason for this deck to run the 3rd Sentry at least. I literally could see it going down to 0 or like 1 or Culling Strike. Did I say Sentry? Sometimes like the words in my head and the words in my mouth are different. This is kind of interesting. I mean, I do like developing on 3 into the Ashe. I like taking positive burns. Does he have anything scary to play on 3 in that deck? Not. I mean, I guess the Bloodletter makes some things more scary. That could be a close one. But I really favor burning his mana here. And now, I mean, I could play, in theory, any of my cards. It feels like Ashe kind of has to be best.
Faster than my arrow? I think not.
Is there another 2-mana combat trick I could run? Apart from Troll Chant? Because usually 2 and a 1 combat trick really like combining together. Looks like just a solo attack. What is that Braum doing to that Poro? Reckoning looks pretty cute option here. Elixir? That's not a 2-mana combat check. Elixir is way too cute in this deck. There's no way it's Elixir of Iron. It's a shame. So what does he do to this Reckoning? He like Troll Chants my Ashe and we lose? That deck never runs Troll Chant. It's impossible. What if I didn't just... Yeah, Transfusion too. I wouldn't even hate that. Yeah, I guess I just have to like Ice Veil Archer like a normal human being. Sucks. What the heck? But I kind of want to like block the 4/5 with my Avarosan. So don't I actually just like do it on the 3/3? Isn't that actually just better? What if I just like don't block the 3/3 and just don't give a shit about that attack? Like an even normaler human being. That deck doesn't run Avalanche, does it?
Time to make an appearance.
Time for talking to. This is fun, yes?
Yeah, he never even attacks with the other two here. I agree. Yeah?
I'm fighting to
Ooh, look at this guy. He's getting it in. Huh, this is actually pretty interesting. I think I block like this in Troll Chant and just let this one through. It seems kind of weird, but like this one's more of a guaranteed kill, whereas this one, if he like keeps it out of range with a transfusion or something, it's not a kill. And it's also like harder for him to turn around with this kill. Sharpened Resolve. Resolve is pretty, yeah, card.
War teaches us all.
Alright, and this is a much better board. So now, I mean, if I wanted to Reckoning, you know, after his action or something, we'd have like much better odds of it getting through. It feels really hard to not take open attack in position like this. It's not like he has really good blocks anyway. And like, I mean, I can Reckoning after.
What a treat.
It's just like, it's too greedy to do anything but this.
I've embarrassed foes twice your size. You are safe with Bro.
Yep, and we have just like, just enough reactivity. We're actually getting our reputation off this if Ashe goes through. Alright, so he's got like a transfusion that I'll trade for the other Elixir of Iron here.
Every scar a lesson.
That's pretty nice. Okay. Oh! Right, of course. Alright. I'm playing so fucking bad today. Yeah, I kind of forgot what that card did. Jesus Christ. I think I'll probably just end my stream soon. This is too embarrassing. I mean, we're not actually like auto losing to Troll Chant this time. It's just a really bad play still. Yeah, Reckoning can be a little bit unreliable. I like the third Glory Seeker with the 2 Reckoning for sure. Like that's gotta be necessary. And that's part of like the third LeBlanc as well. Although LeBlanc can't double up for the Reckoning, which is pretty sad. But I think the important thing is to just like keep it up as a threat and be okay with like not always like jam fisting it in early sometimes. Because again, if we use it here, we're getting Troll Chanted. And I don't think we need to take any weird risks. Okay, I might have to take a weird risk. Kind of want a Reckoning now. All of a sudden. God, imagine if this Sentry was another... If I just had like literally a second Reckoning unit. This would be so much better. Am I even in a position where I should have to take a risk? Probably enough of one now, yeah. He has Troll or Transfusion. I don't hate Transfusion that much. Like, Transfusion I'd be at least kind of fine with. And Troll will fuck me. Fuck it. Shard. Oh yeah, it could even be another Ice Shard. That'd be good enough for him. Guess he didn't have it. Yep. Ooh, an Avalanche. Ooh, that's interesting. I mean, I guess I do have to save this LeBlanc. That's kind of sad. I actually really wanted not to. So the sad thing here is like, I really want to just play the triple Marauder, but I also don't want to literally lose to second Avalanche. That would be sad. I mean, nobody ever has the balls to save Avalanche after this, right? Like, nobody would ever just like snap a pass with an Avalanche here. There we go, baby! We got it! Woo!
Happy birthday, bitch!
Alright, third Avalanche? Oh, 4-5. That's an unfortunate stat line, my friend.
Is this the death you imagined?
But yeah, we had to basically like, that's why we didn't play the Marauder the turn before last on turn 7. We couldn't have played the Marauder then, because exactly that would have happened. Okay. I mean, I guess I can just like
A chill in the
do
air.
this.
The young fight for glory. I for
Yeah,
legacy.
you may have this. Does it actually matter what I drag? Yeah. Put on this one. Because I think the Glory one wants to grab the Tarkaz. Because the Veteran doesn't have a good block into either of these as a 4-3 if I Shumpo it. And the Tarkaz is literally just doing 1 damage to my face here. Oh no, wait, the Tarkaz is killing my Glory Seeker. Wait, that's the second time I've forgotten what Veteran does this game.
Glory.
Crows will have what's left.
How did that happen? Well, I guess my drag just got changed.
You're mine.
Alright, seems good.
Come on, boys.
This hand feels a little bit throwable too. Couldn't possibly be another throw though, right? Nah. We win these. Eat. I mean, Shunpo into Brittle is just a genius play when you think about it. Like, why would I use Shunpo to ready my attack? Fuck. I mean, Shunpo Brittle Killing Strike! It's the ultimate combo! I don't have enough mana for it. I mean, I could just pass here. I honestly don't, like, the attack token doesn't even matter. Like, I'm scared of everything else. I'm just not scared of the attack token here. I think I actually do this just to, like, force it out. Like, I need to be farming stats on this Marauder and, like, slowing down his win condition. I'm playing the control here because I'm on better top decks than this guy. I shouldn't be in a hurry to win. You're scared of his draws, though? No, I'm not. His draws happen at the same time as mine, and mine are better. I win the top decks.
What I found. Plenty for all of us.
I guess if he has, like, a flash freeze or something, then, like, pre-brittle is wrong. The reason behind pre-brittle is, like, for troll chance or something, but that would be a misplay on his part anyway. But yeah, because I've got the late game, because I've got the better top decks, I think it's a little bit better. I know it, like, seems like a trolly Shumpo there. God. And now we have to just fold to, like, a transfusion or something. Oh, yuck. Oh, no. He takes an open pass. Whoa. What? I think this is a little bit better. I don't think there's, unless I'm forgetting something, there's no card here that really scares me. And if he shows me his top deck, then I won't play around Transfusion. I mean, I don't think I'm... This is good enough. Like, even if it's a Transfusion, it's not really crazy. At fast speed, he shouldn't really have much that deals with that. Yeah, so his top deck is just another blank. Alright, we're fine. But yeah, his deck is a lot more situational than mine, and my deck has, like, that's the thing about this deck. It's an outground deck, right? Like, any draw that, like, even a Marauder is a 7/6, right? Any draw that just changes into more draws will win me the game, and this deck has a lot of draw, more than this and more than his. And, you know, we've got, like, another strength of numbers is obviously ridiculous as well. So, I know that Shumpo looks super weird, but the pressure to win the game is on him, which means I just need to shut down his top decks and his strategy, which means I'm forced into this, like, bizarre play of just using Shumpo to enable Brittle Steel. Alright, clean. It's a pretty good deck!
One step closer.
Like, when you think about it, it doesn't even make sense. When I say, okay, this deck has a 56% win rate, what does that even mean? Does that mean in the last week? Does it mean since the patch? Which would be more accurate? In this case, the last week would be more accurate, but there's a lot of cases where last patch would be more accurate. And what does that, like, how do you weigh different versions? If there's a different version that's one card different that has a lower win rate, can you really say that this one has, like, the win rate that it has, right? If it's only one card different, it's like adding to the sample size with an innocuous change. You know, there's so many factors to consider. And so, like, the concept of, like, pretending that there's something truly objective there, I think is kind of silly. Do you keep flash freeze in this fucking mirror? I don't think I can. I want, like, you know, a Marauder or an Ashe or something, but... And he's not running Katarina, so presumably it's not the Marauders version. Okay. Sorry about that.
What do we got here?
I like enemy board a little bit better than ours. Is this the, which one is this? Is this the other festival one? The, like, night festival thingy? Yeah, me too. Alright, so he's running Marauders, but without the one of Katarina. Alright, so, yeah, I also have a similar, yep. It's kind of funny, Brittle Steel and Troll Chant are doing basically the same thing here. I mean, his is obviously 1 mana less. Yeah, I love the 3 Brittle Steels in this deck. That's the kind of decision that, like, I look at and I'm like, in a normal Ashe deck, I mean, Typically, they're, depending on the metagame, they've run 3 Brutal Seals before, but usually it's between 0 and 2. And in this metagame and in this deck and in the Legion Marauder, I can look at 3 Brutal Seals and I can be like, that's one of the more powerful decisions in this specific version of the deck that I really, really like. God, do I actually Archer the Legion Marauder instead of the LeBlanc? I guess I do. This is kind of stupid. Do I? Reputation actually matters too. Wait. I mean, I want to force his trick so, like, I can block his Marauder with my Icefell Archer. And, like, I mean, the trick's always going to get value. But yeah, I mean, it'll be a troll chance or something.
If it's a fight they want.
Banking mana might be kind of important here, honestly. This is a bit of a weird one. Do I just literally strengthen numbers next turn? God, I think I do, right? So fucking dumb. I'm losing to Reckoning if I do that. I mean, if he's not running Katarina, he's probably only running 1 Reckoning. But yeah, I mean, they'd all be 4 attack. Wow. I might have fucked up. I mean, I can't really pass. He'll always pass back if he has a brain. What do you guys think? Do we just do it? Just fucking YOLO it? Just fold to Reckoning? Just do it like a man? Alright. I mean, like I said, it's probably the 1 Reckoning version. I don't even, like... It's kind of interesting. I don't know if you keep Reckoning in this matchup either. Which means the odds of him having Reckoning are going to be, like... pretty low. It's like 25%, 30% at most. You could attack and then strength. Yeah, but balls! Reckoning isn't the worst anyway. Homie, I think Reckoning would be pretty bad for me there, buddy. I'm not gonna lie. Like, what the fuck? Garen emote. God, you guys fucking, like, you guys see the Garen emote and you all just start cooming. I mean, I don't mind it. It's an above average emote. I think it's a little too subtle for my tastes. Like, when I'm being ironic, I like a little bit more, you know, in your face. He's playing his own? Probably. And now I'm reckoning it. Alright, strength in numbers, dude. Let's go. But yeah, honestly, the funny thing is, like, Reckoning is actually not bad in the mirror. Which is kind of crazy. And if Reckoning's not bad in the mirror, then Reckoning 2-of in this deck is the way to go. Have a cupcake, my guy. God, he doesn't even have an... Not that it matters, but it's really funny that his LeBlanc doesn't even have an attack here. Like, that's just really funny. Jesus Christ. I don't know. I'm fine with 2 Shumpo. I think Shumpo is a good card in this deck. But because of the timing that you're usually playing it, I don't feel super pressured to go to 3. I would unironically add 1 Elixir of Wrath if I run into a lot of mirrors. Elixir of Wrath is pretty funny. I don't think even if you were running into a lot of mirrors, you should, but that's pretty great. Troll Chant is actually nuts into Draven Ezreal. Like, lowering their attack and giving your guys health is like everything that deck hates. God. I mean, it's really hard to keep a hand like this. Like, I need a proactive play. I need something to hit. But I do probably want to Culling Strike the Ezreal, so just because I need, like, some unit, I'll kick one of the Troll Chants, I think. Could have also maybe kicked an Icefell Archer. I would full maul here. Easy Elixir of Iron matchup. I wouldn't full maul, but I could see a lot of arguments to doing that mulligan differently. Like, Elixir of Iron is definitely the best thing here, but I don't like it in, like, full maul territory. Man, do I just, like, skip my development here?
Let's have some fun.
Yeah, Ezreal Draven makes me want a 3rd Elixir of Iron in this deck. Wah. That's really rude. Oh, that's less rude. Never mind. Yeah, we're fine. That doesn't even faze me.
The party has arrived. Not and ready.
Yep, and we're pretty happy about this, actually. Looks good.
Axes coming right up.
Yeah, his Draven doesn't get an attack here.
Victory requires a sharp.
So people are running Static Shock in the list. It's an alright static. I mean, it forced me out of something at least. There's nothing he could play that would actually get around to culling, so... I mean, I can't just block that, and then when he presses a button, I'll just culling the Draven, right? I don't get it. This block feels free. Am I missing something?
First me, then the
Okay. And if it's a Mystic, then, I mean, I just Troll Chant instead. Yeah, I'm not really giving much value to a second Mystic. Yeah, Troll Chant has to be a bit better. I don't know, that was a weird Draven attack. Like, even if his hand has, like, a double Mystic, I don't think it's necessarily accomplishing much. Get the reputation so late, though.
I will unite the Frejlord.
Yeah, if he, like, basically this matchup is just comes down to, like, how much removal they have and how many elixirs and Troll Chants you draw. If Ezreal Draven is popular, then third elixir starts to seem good.
leaping into action.
You're mine.
Trading down the board is something that's like generally bad here, but I have to do it still. But like, yeah, we're kind of like cock blocked out. These Whispered Words are doing very well in this kind of position. It seems kind of weird because they're not at reputation, but that doesn't matter. Like this, when you look at how the game flow is going here, this is just an outgrind game. Like he's down to 3 cards and I'm low on resources. And Whispered Words is, I'm very happy for Whispered Words to be in my hand right now.
But look at me now. Prime and ready.
The world's a big place. Let's see all of it. No way.
For a mana draw 2 isn't even terrible.
Don't blink.
Yeah, it's not even terrible. Alright, I'll do the Sad Poro into the
I
pass.
don't miss.
You gotta really slow roll it. You gotta actually give him the pass. It's the only way. Because otherwise, how else are we gonna get our cupcake emote? Alright, I mean, Homie's down to a literal 1-card hand, and I've got double Whispered Words. So I'm feeling pretty good about this. I mean, like, my health is high enough that even if his card is Faron, we usually win. Sure.
The best lies are beautiful.
So there's pretty much nothing we're drawing off of Whispered Words that we'd actually like pre-play here. Am I ever using Flash Freeze? Using Flash Freeze is kind of impossible here. I'll just keep the mana up though.
Swiftly now.
I guess like, I mean, pre-Whispered Words, I think this Flash Freeze is worth it, right? I mean, if it's a Faron next turn, then I'm gonna regret Flash Freezing here, I guess. Nah, I'll just Whisper it into like an Icefield Archer or something.
The time is right. Strike now.
I'm fine with this. Anyone else hate Flash Freeze in this right now? I think the third Elixir of Iron might be better than the Flash Freeze, yeah.
Prime and ready.
Hello. Man, thank God we put in that Reckoning, huh? Man, I hope he doesn't have another Get Excited. Hang on a second. Ooh. Who the hell actually runs 2 Get Exciteds in this deck? Ezreal Draven? 2 Get Exciteds? Nah, couldn't be. Pre-Cupcake. No fear. Don't even wait for a response. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, that's not fine! Oh, Jesus Christ. Is this what it comes down to? If that last card is a Efron, I have actually lost. What the fuck? Alright. Usually, Ezreal Draven has like really bricky top decks. Unless it's, oh, okay. So it's just like a 2 damage Tri-Beam. Listen. I'm fine with that. It's a top deck Tri-Beam. that's okay. And we've got Brittle. Everything's good. Everything's fine. I think I need to hang my sentry back though, like a normal human being. Ashe could level up here. However, it's kind of like better for me if he blocks, I think. Isn't Ashe leveling here doing kind of nothing? I guess it like gets me the Crystal Arrow this turn. Crystal Arrow is pretty good.
Hide no longer.
This is just safer.
I'll lead us to victory.
Like we're killing him on a Kolakov too, I think. So this gets us to the reputation, which is nice. Like in a hand like this, the mana starts to matter because we're about to draw a bunch. No way. That's bad. That is bad. Wah.
Continue.
All right. Well, we can't play Whispered Words anymore because I literally need to block the horns on the open attack.
Can see the Demacian border from here.
I mean, we have the card advantage still. It's just like if he top decks bad cards, we're still totally fine.
Striking looks and stunning wit.
Ah, good old draw cards. Hello. Using Crystal Arrow on offense feels pretty good. I mean, none of his attacks are actually good. If I Ice Veil the Horn of the Dragon, yeah, he still doesn't have a good attack, even if he wants to use Guile. Yeah, I don't want to like. Yeah, this is good. I need his attack to be bad here. Arrow. I think I want to use my arrow on offense. He doesn't have a good attack right now. Like his 2-3 gets blocked by my 3-1. His 5-1 gets blocked by my 2-1. His attack sucks. So I want to save arrow when it's more impactful. Just kill him before he draws Faron. See, that's the problem, is they always draw Faron right about now. Like, I've played against Ezreal Draven enough times. I've never seen them not draw Faron on, like, you know, the top deck right before you kill them. Like, they always just run out of steam, and then they just draw it. Wow. So he actually wants to take an attack here. That's interesting. I don't think that's worth using his Guile. He's hurting his Rummage top deck, too, by doing that. Because, like, his attack here still isn't actually good. I don't think I even play Crystal Arrow. I don't think I care enough. Yeah, that 2 health never comes back to bite me. Like, the thing is, my LeBlanc needs to be able to attack, and if I don't Crystal Arrow on offense, she can't. These are good draws. I mean, these are attrition draws, you know?
Nothing escapes my...
So, like, if we're spot counting, if we're thinking about, you know, what cards would be good in the deck build, we can imagine if this Avaros and Sentry was a Black Rose Spy. That's honestly not too far off here. Okay, how bad is it to do this just to let me attack and get my draw first? I mean, I have, like, Trump blockers for defense. Save for Faron. You could save it for Faron. The only problem is, like, if he draws the Faron, I mean, I'm already at 7 health at this point, and at the point where he draws the Faron, I think I'm already screwed. This was a neat top deck. Like, I have to go aggressive to kill him faster to stop him from drawing the Faron, basically. Yeah, I'm basically a good player. I agree, guys. Jesus. But yeah, something that's really, like, nice in that matchup, and I think... By the way, I think this deck should be fairly favored there, but I might actually really want the third Elixir of Iron. The thing that's really nice about that matchup is, like, this is the kind of matchup that Ashe decks, or this Ashe deck in particular especially, does well in, because it's just like an outgrind deck, and that's why we have, like, you know, the Whispered Words and the Sentry. And Strength of Numbers is really, really good for that, like, kind of outgrind. Like, really, really essential. And they have some counters to stop the Marauders from being able to attack, but we have enough protection that, like, that deck has a really hard time dealing with Strength of Numbers. I think that's why Strength of Numbers is like a force 3 of in this deck. It's just too important in certain matchups. As much as the third Shempo might be correct, it has to be cut before the third Strength of Numbers. Like, there's just no way around that, I think.